data is actually a very good segue to go into our first presentation today, which is AI can analyze my video, now what? And this is something that we heard quite a bit about in the research for the report, particularly with a lot of companies bringing AI in, generating lots of data, then they're kind of unsure what to do with it, or they're a bit disappointed because it's not really having the impact they thought that it would have. So today we're joined by Jonatan Roig from Knox Media Hub, Chief Product Technology Officers, and by Mark Glennon from All3Media. And they're going to be discussing some use cases and things that they've been working on recently together. So welcome, John and Mark.
Thank you, David.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yep, I'll stop my share so you can share your screen.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, well, thank you very much, David, for the opportunity to be here and explain a little bit what we've been doing. The idea today is to show you a little bit what we've done in terms of metadata and the value that we have extracted from AI processes. So I'm Jonatan Roig, I'm the CTO at Knox Media Hub, and yes, we have Mark Glennon as well from All3Media International that will be sharing his experiences at the end of the presentation. So just a very brief introduction. Knox Media Hub is a platform for orchestration and automation of media processes. We have products that are to manage collaboration and share content with external parties. We have a library product that is the main product for cataloging and managing content. We have portals for distribution, screening, and automated delivery. And finally, an underlying layer of pipelines, which is our orchestration and automation system that allows a modular approach and a no-code environment for our customers to create their own media workflows. So what I wanted to bring up today is a real use case. So having a look to a single video file, what we have seen traditionally is that this file brings a set of metadata values. So this is a very generic example, but I wanted to represent in a specific size the amount of metadata that we are usually storing in a traditional non-AI library. So we could have around 20 or 30 time-coded metadata values that may contain ad break detections or manual cue points that the operators may have done. Then we have a few descriptive metadata values that may describe the asset, probably what actors are in the file, maybe the show name, seasons, and so on. And then around 200 technical metadata values, which is essentially information about the file itself and the codecs and so on. So this is what we were seeing traditionally. Now, I wanted to compare how this is scaling already for a few years. This is nothing new, but this has something that we have seen growing. So we have seen that originally, we had around 270 metadata values per file, but with AI enrichment, we can get to 3,000 very easily if we analyze from, I don't know, object detection, faces, and we want to have a lot of accuracy in terms of the time code to identify many things. So at Knox Media Hub, we integrated with partners that can do this AI detection. And our focus is on simplifying the use of this metadata because it's great to have it, but it's very complex to organize it and then surface this to the user in a simple way. So as you can see, this is a significant increase. Now, I wanted to put an example of a library that has around 50,000 video assets. So if we analyze this in raw figures, this would mean that initially we would have 10 million metadata entries. After AI analysis and enrichment and so on, we could get to 130 million. So this is not only a big challenge, well, technically to store this metadata to allow fast and reliable search functionalities for the users, but it is challenging to show this metadata and offer it in a way that can be consumed and it can be used for actual value and for actual deliveries or deals that the clients need to close and operate. So we've been working in a metadata project along with All3Media International. Mark Glennon will be sharing his experiences in a few minutes. So this project was taken in 3 stages. First, we consider the metadata sourcing. How can we get more metadata from the assets we have? Then the metadata transformation. Once we have this new metadata, we probably need to transform this metadata to something that can be useful. And finally, we have the metadata delivery. So actually taking this metadata, reshaping it in the way that the endpoints want this metadata. And when I say endpoints, I mean platforms or customers that need this metadata along with the media assets. So today we are bringing you a few examples of tools that we have built to tackle these challenges. First of all is Knox Video Lab. So the first thing we had to do is for a single place where all this data can be shown and searched. So the Video Lab comes to solve this, and it's a powerful tool to display thousands of metadata entries in a same UI, which was a big challenge because when you get many layers of AI analysis from different vendors that are bringing data into our system, we had to develop a very tailored AI algorithm to actually showcase this. So I want to bring up here the sourcing, which is a big part of the project we did with All3Media. And one of the things that sometimes is overlooked is the documents that come along with the media files. So one of the challenges was to extract data from unstructured files. So all these PDFs, all these RTF documents, docs, and so on that are lying around in the library, but no one can really devote time to actually go in and see what's in there and extract this data and shape it in a way that it can be useful. So the first thing we built is a module that is called the document metadata scanner. And this module is essentially allowing our clients to automate the extraction of metadata from these unstructured files and put it in a way that it can be later on used in the catalog to automate deliveries. The second tool is metadata delivery compliance. So all these deliveries need to be done in a specific way, shape, and form in terms of length, quality, and so on. And we had created an automated module that actually checks and validates that the metadata that has been extracted is compliant with the expectations of the delivery. That's what we achieved with delivery compliance module, and is allowing a lot of efficiency and saving a lot of hours of manpower. And finally, I think this is one of the most powerful tools we developed together is the metadata export module. Here, it is a combination of transformation and delivery. So what we get here is a very powerful platform to generate CSV and Excel documents that wrap around all this metadata that is in the library that has been extracted from all these documents. Probably AI time-coded metadata is brought in as well. And we have integrated this tool with many AI vendors that can actually apply transformation, which means that probably we are translating, we are changing the length of the metadata values, and a few more things related to AI extracted metadata. So with these 3 things, we created a very powerful automation that Mark will be able to tell you more about.
Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, so we've spent a considerable period of time over the last 18 months or so building out the various tools that Jonah's already mentioned, particularly around the delivery piece there, and all of the transformations and the conversions that we require in order to satisfy our clients' needs, because at the end of the day, it's a client-driven requirement that we are sending out metadata. So we've spent a long time building various tools for these transformations. Jonah's touched on a couple that we've put in place. So we're using AI for synopses, summaries, and creating synopses based on pre-existing text, summarizing those, creating them to specific character lengths, doing language translations, so flipping from the original source, usually English in our case, but flipping to other languages as needed. We're doing all sorts of things from the very simple changing case, changing the order of things, how we display multiple values in a single field. So an example being Q points, as we've already touched upon, how we're extracting those and delivering those to our clients. So multiple transformations, multiple validations as well. So ensuring that the data that we've created using our automations is then valid. So we're checking that the AI has done what we've asked it to do, which isn't always the case, and making sure that, for example, we've asked for 150 character synopses and the AI has actually produced 150 character synopses. So over the last few months, we've been building out these tools, building on top of existing layer upon layer to really create a very rich tool set in terms of the material, the metadata rather, that we can deliver out to our end clients. And as Jonah says, the end game of this is ultimately it's automation. We're able now to create large volumes of metadata out for delivery with just a few clicks. And from an operator's perspective, it is extremely straightforward. They are able just to select the series, select the endpoint, the client that needs the data, hit go, and the system produces the data as required, and if optionally delivers it to the client. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey over the last couple of months. I wanted to just also mention around one of our big challenges wasn't just that we had a lot of data either contained within our video itself, so video analysis, but also, as Jonah mentioned, PDFs and Word documents and Excel spreadsheets and all sorts of other pieces of material that we've had, which contain huge amounts of metadata, huge amounts of really useful information. So one of our big challenges was building a tool, or a couple of tools actually, that can take those documents and extract all of that data and store it and catalog it in a meaningful and useful way. And that's one of the real big achievements of this, has been able to take hundreds of thousands of documents and extract the data from them in a predictable and useful manner. We've also integrated with other systems within All3, so we're pulling information like transmission dates, premiere dates, and producer information, and all sorts of other fields that we're bringing now into Knox and are able to transform and manipulate to our clients' needs. So yeah, it's been a really instructive and useful project for us. It's really helped All3 achieve an aim that we have to achieve in order to deliver to our VOD clients and fast channels and the like. But we're now also offering it up as an optional extra to all of our regular linear clients as well. So we are delivering metadata out to almost every client we serve now, which just wouldn't have been possible 6 months ago, because the time taken to generate the metadata manually would have just been completely prohibitive. So it's a real bonus to the business as well from that point of view too.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark, for sharing your experience with us. So I think that's pretty much what we wanted to present today, David. I don't know if you have questions or anything that you may want to ask us.
No, it was great to see a use case, and also the way that All3 are then using that and how it's having a direct impact on their offering to to their VOD customers. So I think it's really great to explore that. I would like to tell everyone, just to remind, that on the there in the website there is a space for you to enter in questions, and if you enter your questions in there and send them through, we will receive them and we can raise those up. So if anyone has any questions for that last presentation, please do feel free to put in your questions and we can raise those later on in the event today. So thank you very much, John and Mark, and much appreciated, and for your time there.
Thank you.